Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad that you're watching. If you're new here, welcome, karibu. My name is Eva Mtali, and on this channel we talk about all things travel. We talk about travel tips, travel hacks. We talk about visa guides and how to make sure you prepare for your visa interview. And once in a while, we'll also find restaurant reviews and tours, hotel reviews and tours, Airbnb reviews and tours, and also might find some house tours. So if any of these topics sound exciting to you, you want to hit the subscribe button below, and once you have done so, you want to hit the notification bell as well, so that every single time I shoot a new video, you do not miss out. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the most frequently asked US F1 student visa interview questions, and I will give sample answers. And this is the third video in a 6-part series where I break down the different questions and I give sample answers. If you haven't watched yet, check these videos up here where I have talked about the most likely questions you will be asked in a student F1 visa interview related to your university, your college, and your academics. Today's video is F1 student visa questions that are related to your finances, and I will also try to give sample answers. So I have my questions on here and I'm gonna be checking them and giving sample answers. So the goal of the F1 student interview questions that are gonna be asked in this section of finances is for the visa officer to ascertain whether or not you are capable of financially supporting your studies in the United States without having to rely on the United States system or on seek employment outside of your university. So just a reminder, the student F1 visa is supposed to allow you to get a university, accredited university or college education while in the United States. It is not a work visa. However, it allows you to legally work for not more than 20 hours, and it must be in the boundaries of your university. Okay, so make sure to carry supporting documents such as up-to-date certified bank statements, carry your pay slips, carry any title deeds, logbooks, insurance policy documents, anything that is going to build a case for your finances on the day when you go to the embassy. Okay, so without much further ado, the number one most frequently asked F1 student visa interview related to your finances: who is sponsoring your studies and how? Or another way this question could be asked: who is paying for your education? Just answer accordingly. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, answer only what is asked of you. So you've been asked who's paying for your education, very simple question: myself, or my parents, or my uncle, or whoever. And they've asked how, you can say myself. I have enough savings from my 5 years of work to cover for my tuition fees, living expenses, and my air ticket. Or you can say my parents, they run a family business, or they work at company XYZ, or they took an insurance policy for me 15 years and it's maturing. So just make sure to answer accordingly. Okay, question number two you're likely to be asked at your US F1 student visa interview is: what is your fees for the first year? Or what is your tuition fee for the university you want to join? This information is available in your I-20 form that the university will send you, so make sure to answer accordingly. Question number three: what is your parents' annual income, or what is your sponsor's annual income? Answer accordingly, like Kenya shillings, 20 million per year, or whatever it is. Question number four: how much money will they be providing you with? Or does your sponsor pay for all of it? Or did you also get a loan? So respond accordingly and make sure that the sum total of your source of funds cover at least your airfare, your tuition fees, plus your living expenses, and it corresponds with the information that is in the bank statements that you have carried. So for example, if the total cost of your education in the United States, including your accommodation and living expenses, is like 30,000 US dollars, make sure you have an equivalent in the sources of funds. Okay. Question number 5, what is your income? Okay, so if you're working, just answer accordingly. My monthly income is 50,000 Kenya shillings, and make sure you carry your pay slip to back up your responses. If let's say you're in business, you can say my monthly turnover is 500 US dollars, and make sure you have your financial statements to ascertain the same. Okay. F1 student visa, question number 6, you're likely to be asked if your, I don't know, insert your sponsor name, is spending most of his savings on your education. What about your expenses, or what about their other expenses back home? So if your parent is spending most of his savings on your education, what about your family's expenses back home? How are they going to pay for it? What is their professional background? So the visa officer wants to make sure that your family is not going to become bankrupt or just have financial problems because they are sending you to the United States. So you can say, for example, that in addition to the savings, my parent still has regular income from his day job, or from his consultancy, or from his business, or they also have other assets such as real estate or insurance policies, or just make sure that you respond accordingly. Question number 7, it appears from your bank statement that all the deposits have been made recently. Where did this fund suddenly come from? So you want to answer accordingly. So for example, you can say, my employer is sponsoring my studies, so he put the money into my account, or my parents are the ones sponsoring my studies and they took the savings from their account and put it into this, or my parents took an educational insurance policy for me 15 years ago and it matured, and that is the money that has been put in my account, or I sold one of my assets that I have been using to hold the savings, and that is what you see in the bank account. And whatever way that money landed into your account, make sure you have documented evidence for it. If it was a property that was sold, there must be a sale agreement. If it was an insurance policy that matured, make sure you have the letter from the insurance company. If it was your employer who sponsored you, or you got a scholarship, or whatever happened, make sure you have sufficient documented evidence for that. Question number 8, how much is your living expenses? How much is your accommodation fee? So answer accordingly. This information you should be having beforehand. In terms of accommodation, speak to your international student office, and they should be able to advise you in terms of the accommodations options that are available to you and how much they cost. How much money is available for your stay in the United States? So check your I-20 form from the university. You should have the entire figure for 1 year. That is in terms of your accommodation fees, plus your living expenses, your tuition, and everything else. So answer accordingly. US student visa, you're likely to be asked. Question number 9, tell me more about your father's or your mother's job or your sponsor's job and income, and how long they have been working for that company, or if it's a business, how long they have been in the business. So make sure that whoever is sponsoring for your education, you have all their information before you attend the interview, and make sure whatever information you have of them, you also have backing in terms of their employer's letters, for example, or their business cards, or their pay slips, or whatever, any other document that actually can build a case for who they are, okay? And then question number 10, what is the monthly income of the person who is going to sponsor your studies? So this is almost similar to question number 9 above. Respond accordingly and make sure you have the required documents. Question number 11, apart from that, tell us more of your sponsor's annual income. So very related question 9, 10, and 11. Respond accordingly. Question number 12, can I please see your current bank statement? So simply hand over your bank statement to the visa officer. Sometimes they could ask you, can I see the most current bank statement of your parents or of your sponsor or of your guardian? Simply hand over the bank statement and make sure that it is current, at least 6 months old, and it is certified, okay? Question number 13, if you are planning to stay for, 3 years in the United States, how will you finance your education and your living expenses? So you can simply answer by saying, I have enough money to cover my course fee, my tuition fee, and my living expenses for the X number of years, as is evident from the bank statement. Okay. Question number 14, if you run out of money in the United States, what will you do? You can answer by saying, I have enough money to cover all my living expenses, my accommodation expenses, my transport needs, my tuition, my course fees. So this is a situation that will not arise, okay? Question number 15, will your relatives in the United States chip in to support your education in the US? Nope. Remember, you already have enough money in question number 14 above, okay? How much do you have in savings? Just make sure you respond accordingly, and whatever answer that you give, it corresponds with what you have in your bank statements, okay? Number 17, what proof do you have that you can sponsor? What proof do you have that your sponsor can support your studies in the United States? So basically what you need to do is to give to the visa officer your sponsor's letter of support, where they clearly outline that I, XYZ, support Eva for 4 years to undertake her degree in digital cinematography at Full Sail University, and so much money I'm going to give towards it. And then make sure you also give your bank statement to the visa officer, your sponsor's bank statement, and other financial documents that prove your sponsor is capable of supporting your studies for the duration of the full course, okay? Question number 18, what is the source of income of your sponsor? Again, this is a very simple question. Just simply answer accordingly. If let's say they work, they have a consultancy, they run a business, whatever source of their income, just make sure to have the documented evidence for it. Question number 19, how are you related to your sponsor? And this is a question likely to be asked where the sponsor is not, let's say, your parent. How are you related to your sponsor? So answer accordingly. If it's your uncle or it's your brother, sister, friend, whatever it is, make sure you answer accordingly. Question number 20, why are they sponsoring you? And this is a question you're likely to be asked if the sponsor is not your parent. So they could say, why is your uncle, your brother, whoever relative sponsoring you instead of your parents? That's another way you could be asked that question. So respond accordingly and focus on how your well-being is really important to them. So for example, you can say, I have been working for my employer for X number of years, and they would want me to continue working with them in the field of data science. So it just made sense for them to support my education so that when I come back, I can be able to offer my services to the company. Or if let's say it's your uncle, you can simply say, my parents supported my uncle during his younger days, so he feels like it's an opportunity to give back to my parents or to pay it forward by sponsoring my education. Or if let's say it's your brother, your sister, you can say the same thing. My parents spent all of their money in supporting my sister or my brother's education, and now they feel it's their way of paying it forward by also sponsoring my education. Okay, question number 21. I can see you got a scholarship. Why do you think they gave it to you? So this is a question I like to be asked if you're going on a funded on a scholarship. So you can say that you're right, I'm certain there were quite a few or quite a number of other applicants, but this merit-based women in technology scholarship, but I do think they gave it to me because of my background meeting the desired eligibility requirements. And you can say, for example, I matched the desired qualities in the application. For example, I graduated with a high school. I graduated from high school in 2020. I identify as a female. I also met the criteria of a cumulative high school GPA of 3.8 or higher. My GPA was 3.9. And most importantly, I won the whiteboard problem solving competition, whereby I submitted an original project to the scholarship committee and I emerged number 1. Okay, so just focus on the qualification criteria of the scholarship that you won and how you meet or how you met the eligibility requirements. Well, guys, thank you for staying up to the very end. That's it for today in terms of the most frequently asked student F1 visa interview questions and sample answers that are related to your finances. In the next video in this series, that is video number 4, I'm going to talk about the most frequently asked F1 student visa questions that are related to your family and your relatives. So make sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on this next series. Bye bye, and I look forward to meeting you on the next one.